or in a state of invasion. Welcome back to the Immigration Answers Show. My name is Jim Hacking. This is episode number 486 of the show. I'll be here for the next hour with you, trying to answer as many of your immigration law related questions as I can. Hope everybody's doing well. How's everybody? I am at my daughter's training. She's out there working in the gym, and I am here. I already went to the gym this morning. Good to see everybody. James is saying hello from Haiti. Hope is here. Spicy Ray's got a lot to say about my comments yesterday, and I appreciate that. Glenn is checking in from sunny Texas. If you haven't been with us before, let us know where you're watching from. Huli just posted the link to the waiting room. Thank you to Huli for all of her hard work for the firm. Those of you who don't know, we are switching phone companies today, and it's been, I'm sure, a hectic day for Huli and the team as we try to figure out how everything fits together. I like to answer people's immigration questions. I like to give the best information that I can. Do not think that this is a good substitute for actual legal advice. You know, sometimes people tell me about their situations and they want a definitive answer, and I sort of have to just lay out the options for them and let them make a good decision. Joe and V are here from Iron Mountain, Michigan. Bakari's watching from Nigeria, as she often does. Shelly from Bridgeport is here. Arlene says good afternoon. Ricky says hello to everyone. I have to respond to a Slack real quick. Just give me 1 second. There we go. All right, so the waiting room is filling up, so that's good. I can go ahead and start answering some questions. Let's start off with Islam. Hello, Islam. Hi, Islam. How are you? Can you hear me?
I'm good, Jim. How you doing?
Doing great. Thanks. What can I help you with?
So I have two things to say. First, I have to say thank you. I got my green card actually a year ago, and I should have gone in your show to thank you because the waiting process was very horrible, and I spoke with you, and I don't know if you remember me or no, but anyways, you gave me so much of encouragement to have faith and to wait, and it really paid off. I got my green card lately, and so I just want to thank you so very much for your kind words and everything you said to kind of help me keep my sanity during the process. So real quickly, I'm a doctor in the New York State, and I got my green card through my job. I applied as an EB2 category, and I got my green card in February of 2022. And a few months ago, I got married, and my wife, she's in Egypt actually, and I was thinking about how can I bring her to the U.S. So I think my question is, first, what do you think is the kind of fastest way to kind of bring her in the United States? And my second question, if you or your offices kind of help clients to deal with that kind of thing, because I want you to be my lawyer.
Oh, sure. Yeah, we'd be happy to help. Yeah, those are the kinds of cases we handle every day. So, the tricky thing right now is that the spouse cases for green card holders take a long time. So are you familiar with the visa bulletin? Do you know how that, you probably are from your employment days, but so for the last 4 or 5 years, up until about a year ago, the cases for the spouses of green card holders went as fast as cases for the spouses of citizens. That's not true anymore. So if you file an I-130 petition now, you're at a year and a half of having your green card, right? So you'll file the I-130, it'll get processed, it'll go slowly because you're a green card holder. They'll probably take 2 years to decide it, and then it'll have to wait, because right now there's like a 3 or 4 year wait. So it's probably going to be the fact that you become a U.S. citizen that is the key to unlocking the door for your spouse to come to the United States. So if you do the traditional I-130 filed by a green card holder, that's probably what's going to be the timeline. Now, if she does something else, like if she tries to get a student visa to come to the United States, if she's like of a college age or studying, she could come on the student
Yes,
visa.
she's a pharmacist.
Okay. So were you thinking that she'd come as a student or that she'd come
Yeah.
as a, okay. So she would need to find a school in New York that has, it has to be legit. She can't just be getting the student visa to come hang out with you, right? So like if she got a student visa, arrived, went to school for 3 days, then dropped out and married you, that would be bad, right? So if she's coming, it should be for legit reasons. Otherwise, she go that slower route. But if a school admits her and she gets an I-20 and she comes to the United States and she goes to school, you could get married. You're not married yet, right?
You're not married yes, yet? We are. We are married.
Oh, you are married.
No, so, we got married.
So that's So that's going to be a little trickier. That means so when she fills out her DS-160 for the F1, they're going to see that she's married to a green card holder. They might not give her the student visa because they think she's just going to come and try to jump the line and get a green card through you, as opposed to really coming to study. So you can try it, but I think it's probably not going to work, because once she checks that box that she's married to a green card holder, I think the chances of her F1 go way down. If you had talked to me beforehand, I would have said, don't get married. I mean, maybe culturally or religiously you had to, but from an immigration standpoint, I think it's unlikely that they're going to give us, because when you apply for a non-immigrant visa, the number one question is, do we believe you're going to come back home? And I think they're going to say to themselves, we don't believe she's going to come back home, because her husband is a green card holder. Eventually he's going to be a citizen, and eventually he's going to be able to sponsor her. So they're probably not going to give her a student visa.
Right.
Does that make sense?
So is there a way out? It does. It does completely. Is there any way out you would suggest? I mean, I own a clinic in New York. Is that can I just like kind of sponsor her for a employment base and get her a job in my clinic?
I think you have the same problem in that you've already rung the bell that she's married to a green card holder. So I don't think that would work. And I think that would be even worse, because that would be appearing sort of sneaky. So I wouldn't try that. I also don't think it'll work. I think you might have to just play it straight and apply for the green card and hope that processing times and priority dates go faster than they have been.
Okay. Can I get like the information so I can get in touch with your office?
Yeah. If you send an email to info@hackingimmigrationlaw.com and just say, I'm Islam, I was the first one on the show yesterday with Jim, we will follow up first thing tomorrow.
I got you. info@hackingimmigrationlaw.com. Okay, I got you. Thank you so very much again. And thank you for everything, really. And I really, really appreciate your work. God bless you.
You got it. Thanks, Doc. See ya. All right. That was a good call. Thanks, Islam, for starting us off right. Always good to hear from people that got their green cards and are happy. Let's see if Anna's happy. Hello, Anna.
Hi, I am happy. Actually, I promise you I will call and I will give you the news.
So what happened?
Everything went perfect, even way better than I ever thought. I was to give you a little of my experience with the interview. Basically, the officer never asked me too many things. He just asked me, have you been married before? I mean, going right straight to the question about the situation of the marriage. Have you been married before? And I said, yes, I've been married before. And he said, how many times have you been married before? I've been married before once. And then, and so your husband, he's been married before, right? And I said, yes. How many times? And I said, 2. I just remember about you too. I didn't say anything. He never asked me for anything. He never even questioned about that the forms were not correctly, with the correct information. He never asked me for anything.
So aren't you glad you didn't say 2? But oh my God, I'm so sorry I didn't put in the first time we put 1, and I'm just so sorry. I really messed that up. We weren't trying to hide anything. I mean, aren't you glad you didn't do that?
I remember I was like, it was like Jim, just shush, 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 and just answer what he's asking. So thank you so much for definitely that helped a lot. Um, but now the fun part starts, and I actually wanted to ask you something about what will happen with, because now, like, I am in Ecuador right now.
Mhm.
We've been waiting for this 6 years. It's incredible that finally we have this now. So my husband is coming in December. That's why I am not going right away. And we have a process to move. We have a home here in Ecuador, but definitely we'll have to move in the next 6 months. I mean, they gave me I think it's like a temporary visa on the passport. They just give you until May. For me, I have to be there
Mhm.
until May. But my question is, if with all these arrangements of the moving, if I cannot make it until May, can I ask for some kind of extension to go to the US?
Hell no. Hell
Okay,
no. You are going to the United States and you should go soon. Your husband can come take care of whatever he wants. You can go to America, get your green card, and then you come back and take care of whatever you want. Everything does not have to depend on you, and you should sure as hell shouldn't stay there till May. You should get to the United States and get your green card as
as
fast
soon
as
as
you can.
possible.
Yep.
Okay, we actually thought of me going on February. That's the soonest I can be
Perfect.
there. But it's
Perfect.
okay if I go there like for 2 weeks and come back.
Well, remember, you want the actual green card, so you're going to pay the Ellis fee. Now that you've been approved, you have to pay the Ellis fee so that the green card follows you. Um, if I was in charge of things, you wouldn't leave the United States until you got your green card, and that might take 2 weeks, it might take 6 weeks, it might take 8 weeks. But do not leave until you get the green card. I don't give a shit about anything else except you getting that green card. I want you in the United States. I want you to have your green card, and everything else comes secondary to that.
I understand. Even my son, I don't know if I mentioned, but I have a son from my previous marriage. He's 13 years old, and he just got approved by the National Visa Center. We're just waiting for the date. The consulate is gonna give me a date for. I don't know if they're gonna interview him. He's 13 years old. I don't know if that's actually gonna, they are actually gonna interview him.
Maybe they'll
Okay,
probably want to see him.
so
They'll want to see him, and they'll want to see him, and they'll want to make sure is his father deceased? Did I remember that correctly? Is his father deceased, or is
no,
his father still alive?
no, his father is alive. His father is very aware of the whole process. He knows that
So
we're going.
you're gonna need documentation that he's cool with your son coming to the United States and getting a green card.
Yeah, I am aware of that. Here in Ecuador, you need like a power of attorney
Mhm.
saying that I am allowing him to leave the country. Yeah, I am aware of that. I went to law
So
school,
as
by the way. So
awesome. So as we sit here right now, you don't know when his interview is going to be, right?
no, I don't know exactly. I haven't. I don't know.
If you come to the United States, who will he stay with while you're doing that?
With his father. With his father.
So again, so then that doesn't change much for me. I want you to come. I want you to stay until you get your green card, and then when he has his interview, you go down and go to the interview. If you don't have your green card by then that would be a legitimate reason for going before you get your green card. But really squirrely things happen when someone comes on their visa and leaves before they get their green card. People call the show all the time having lots of problems, and often it means they don't ever get the green card.
Oh, okay. Okay. Good
So
to know.
that's why I'm being such a pain in the ass.
Okay. Okay. Good to know because I didn't know what to do at this point. But definitely I'm going in February. And I guess I'll have to wait.
Yeah, hopefully it won't take long. Maybe pay that LSV sooner rather than later. Maybe that'll speed it up on the back end.
Okay. Sounds good. Yeah. I just received my passport 2 days ago. So
Well,
I'm going to.
congrats. I'm happy for you. Can you, just for everybody, can you tell us the timeline? When did you file the I-130? When did USCIS approve it? And then when were you documentally qualified?
Wow. Okay. We filed the I-130 in 2018. It was probably July 2018. It was approved by the National Visa Center.
By
This,
USCIS.
yeah, yeah,
USCIS first.
yeah. We got it approved I think it was like probably February, March 2019. And then we got just in I think it was like August, July, or between the July or August, that everything was finally completed, and that now I have to wait for the date of my interview. That was this year. So from
Why was it?
2000,
Why was there that 4 year gap? Because of COVID?
I think one of the reasons what was COVID, and the other was because they were like continue. I mean, every time they were asking me, for example, for my birth certificate, was a probably it was like a year that I was submitting. The only birth certificate that you have here that has like a registration or a seal from the authorities, but they were saying like, no, the birth certificate is too blurry. No, this is not signed by the required authority. And they were, if I sent that document, they reply after 3-4 months. It was a
Mhm.
nightmare. So
Wow.
that's why it took forever, just because of that, just because of submitting documents, and they wanted to submit it again and again and again. Also, because I lived in Chile for 6 years. I went to law school there.
Mhm.
Um, they asked me for my police record, which also took forever to get that
Mhm.
police record from Chile.
Mhm.
So I think those two reasons was the major reason why I got my
That's
process.
a long time, sister. All right, great. Well, let us know when you get your green card.
All right, I will.
See you,
Okay,
Anna.
thank
Okay,
you. Thank you
bye.
for everything. Take
Yeah,
care. Bye.
you got it. Bye. All right, let's go from Anna to Anna. Anna, are you with us? Anna Cruz, are you here? Here she comes, I think. Anna, are you there? Can you hear me? Anna Cruz, can you hear me? All right, we'll come back. Let's go to Princey. Hello, Princey. You're on mute. Princey, you're on mute. We can't hear you.
Hold on. Yeah. Hi, sir. Good evening. How are you?
I'm great. How are you doing?
Yeah, I'm going good. So I have a question regarding, I'm married to a U.S. citizen, and I recently filed for the removal of the conditional. So I received my this thing, the receipt and everything. They waive my what do you call the biometrics. So how long it will take to get my green card, the card, actual
2 years.
card? 2 years.
Mhm.
Oh, okay. Okay, then that's only the question which I have.
Awesome. Bye,
Thank you,
Princey. Good
sir.
luck, buddy.
Bye.
See
God
you.
bless.
Thank you. God bless you too. All right, Anna's back. Hello, Anna. Can you hear us?
Hi. Yes, I'm here again. Thank you for having
Awesome.
this show. This
Sure.
is like a second, third opinion. I always want to ask you, for some reason, because like I have to ask him every time he goes online. But so I was asking on Facebook, on the immigration group. But my son, he was here. We have the appointment to go to Juarez on the 11, January 11, and he was here. We came on 2004 and we left on 2011. So he's been in Mexico for 12 years. I have my citizenship already, through all this time. But then I'm thinking, like, somebody was saying, well, you're going to have to ask for a waiver because he was here illegally. But we left when he was 7. So is that gonna be the case? Do you know anything about this?
So
Because
you're
he's
saying
20 now.
he had no unlawful presence before. I mean, no unlawful
Yeah.
presence after turning 18. It was all before he was 7.
Yes.
I think he's fine. I don't think he's going to need a
From
waiver.
when okay. Yeah, because
So he's been
yeah, people
outside. So
said no, you have to.
he's been outside the United States for 13 years, right?
Yeah. Yes.
And did he just have one entry? Did he have multiple entries or just one entry into the United States?
No, just one. When he was 10 months, I brought him
So
with me.
between 10 months and 7 years, he was in America, and then he went back, and he hasn't been back in
Yes.
13 years. No, I think he's fine.
No. Okay. Sounds good. I hope so.
I hope so too. Keep us posted.
Thank you.
Thanks, Anna.
Yeah,
See ya.
I will. Thank you.
Okay, bye. All right. Let's go to Rocky. Hi, Rocky.
Hi, Jim. How are you? Good to see you.
Well, yeah, for sure. How are you doing?
Good, good. Thank you. I've been in your show, I think, a couple of times. With I got married in September, and I filed in October 11, and
Of 2023?
yes, 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 sir. This year.
Okay.
When I received my receipt notice, oh my goodness, sorry, I clicked something there.
It's okay. I'm still here.
I don't know. I get nervous when I come into your show, and
It's
I'm
all good.
generally this person anyway.
It's all good.
When I got my receipt notice, in the one that it was for the EAD card, I got like an automatic extension letter. So I was able to go back to work with that one. And then I received my actual EAD card about a week after that. So in reality, it took, I think, 5 weeks since the moment I filed till I received my EAD card.
Great.
So I had a question, and I think I asked you this before regarding changing or not changing my last name, and you said to wait till citizenship, which I'm fine with that.
Mhm.
But I'm feeling a little bit pressured from my to do it. He thinks that if I don't do it, like USCIS might think that it's not a good sign. What, didn't you change your last name? It's not a real marriage. Do you think that if we get an interview, they might say something like that?
No, I think they'd get in trouble for saying that. I think the days are gone where it's absolutely expected that the one member of the relationship changes their last name. I don't think anybody can plan that anymore or claim that that's how regular marriages are. So I think they'd get in trouble for saying that. I don't think that's.
Oh, okay.
There's lots of reasons maybe to do it. You might be able to say it helps the case, but I don't think it hurts the case to not do it, if that makes sense.
Okay, okay. Because that's what I explained to my spouse, and he was,
Yeah.
I don't know. Another question is that I filed kind of close to the end of my OPT.
Mhm.
We have a genuine relationship for like almost 5 years now,
Mhm.
but do you think that would hurt my case? Do you think they would think like, well, your OPT was running out, you just got married, like so within.
When did your OPT run out and when did you get married?
My OPT ran out in August, and I got married in September.
I'm not worried about this. If you have 5 years of a history together and you have a good story of how you met and everything, and that you were on an F1 and you graduated people on OPT have options other than getting married, right? So they can go back to school, they can go back home. I wouldn't worry too much about it. I think you're probably not going to have an interview.
Okay. And that was
Just
another
for
question.
Rocky,
I
Christine said, I didn't change my name and I got my green card. So just, that was one of the comments.
Yeah, my sister, she never changed her last name till she started having kids. And I
Yeah.
think they changed it just to make it easier in the hospital or something. Not that I want to
So that,
have kids yet, but
so that everybody had the same name. Yeah, sure.
um I have a lawyer. She is in Chicago because that's kind of where my
Mhm.
family's from. Well, my sister, my only family. Um, if we were to get an interview, will the interview be in the city that I'm living right now? It's not Chicago, or would it be
What's your,
in Chicago, where my lawyer is located?
no,
I'm
no,
in
it's all
Atlanta.
based up. It'd be in Atlanta.
Yeah.
It's based on where the couple lives, not the lawyer.
Okay. And I kind of wanted to ask you your thoughts on the
Mhm.
Atlanta office, but I don't want to jinx myself.
Oh, they're
But
fine. They're fine. My favorite Atlanta story was my wife had an interview scheduled in Atlanta. This was about 3 years ago, and it was like in late December or early January, and they said it was supposed to be an ice storm. Well, my wife flew down there anyway, and this was a case where the U.S. citizen lived in Georgia, and no, the U.S. citizen lived in St. Louis. The beneficiary lived in Georgia, so they scheduled the interview in Atlanta. And then Southwest completely freaked out. They canceled her flight, so we got our flight on Delta, and the husband flew down. And then they got an email the night before the interview saying it had been canceled. So my wife was down there. The ice storm never came. And so she went over there in her pajamas and knocked on the door and talked to the director. And he said, yeah, they had canceled all the interviews, but she said, I'm here, the spouse is here, the spouse is here. Can we just do it? And so she had the only interview of the day there because everything else had been canceled. So I think they're pretty reasonable. It's a busy office. I think you're almost always better off with a busy office. And we haven't heard any real complaints about Atlanta at all. So I think you're fine. And I don't think you're going to have an interview.
Okay. I mean, either way is fine. I had my fingerprints done maybe 3 weeks or so ago, and then that's right after I got my DNA.
Yeah, it's going fast. Everything's going fast. That's great.
Honestly, yeah, because I was thinking that I was not gonna be able to work till like February, and then we came back from our honeymoon. I mean, we just went to Texas. I can't really leave the country. And then I was ready to just, unbox all my stuff, and then I got the extension letter, and I'm like, oh my goodness. Well, I guess I have to go back to work. So, I feel grateful, and I'm blessed that I'm going back to work. It means a lot. But I was a little bit prepared that it was gonna take a little bit longer. But I'm just happy that it's going fast.
That's great, Rocky. Keep us posted, okay? Let us know how it goes.
I watch your show every day when I'm driving to work and back and forth. I love it. You are awesome.
Thanks so much. Thank you. You're awesome too. I'm glad you were on. Thanks.
Yeah, for sure. I hope you had a good Thanksgiving. Bye.
I did. Bye-bye. All right. What a nice call that was. Well, I think we're a fan of Rocky's. She's pretty awesome. So that's great. All right. Let's say hi to Mr. K. Mr. K with us. I can't hear you, Mr. K. You turned off mute, but I still can't hear you. I don't know. Mr. K is having some kind of audio problem. Let's go to Roy. Hello, Roy.
Hi, good afternoon, Jim. I firstly want to say I'm a very silent listener of your show. I enjoy every day of it. I try not to miss one. If I do miss it, I do my caught up on YouTube. But I wanted to ask you a question, a quick one. Through your guidance, I was able to get my green card, and I'm in the US now. I did message your office because when I got here, apparently they did not take my fingerprint. So I had to go to a sub office and do back this fingerprint. Now, when they sent me the green card, instead of the conditional green card, they sent me a 10-year green card. Now, I take your advice as into photocopy all my stuff, all my marriage certificate and so on. And I did send it back to them without the card. I kept the card, I photocopied the card, and I sent it. Now, I sent it at the sub office. I did not send it because my case was at the California office. So I sent it at the sub office at Albany because I'm in New York. But I have not heard back anything, or they have not responded to it. Everything I have copies that it was received. I have a signature on file and everything. What would you suggest? That do I redo it and send it to the California office, or will that be okay?
So did you file an I-90?
No, I did not. Yes, I did. Yeah, yes, I did. I did the I-90 form. I included in the package along with copies of my marriage certificate, and I do a cover letter that says, this is my case number, this is everything, and my marriage, as I write this letter, was less than 2 years. So I was supposed to receive a conditional green card instead of a 10-year green card, which by extension was not my mistake, to go forward with. But I'm asking that you do resend a conditional green card for me, and I give them a copy of the green card that I collect. I did not send I did not send back the card. I am basically holding that until, to see if they send me back a conditional green card. What is your advice on that?
So what's the date of your marriage?
The date of my marriage was 21 August 21. I got 22. I was documentarily qualified in March, and in we no I in yeah in we were documentarily qualified in March, right? And no, sorry, we documentarily qualified in
Hold on. Hey,
22
Roy,
December.
what's the date? I just want to ask you two questions. What's the date of your marriage? Like the day and the month and the year?
It's the 24th of August, 2021.
August 24th, 2021 is the day that you got
Yeah.
got your marriage. What's the start date on your green card?
The start date is the 18th of March, 2023.
So they gave you a 10-year green card when you'd only been married about 20 months or so.
17 months.
Okay.
Right.
So when you sent the I-90, when you send an I-90, sometimes you pay the filing fee if it's your mistake, or you don't pay the filing fee because it's their mistake. So I assume you didn't pay the filing fee because it was their mistake, right?
Correct is right.
Okay, but you mailed it to the field office in Albany instead of sending it to the address on the I-90 instructions. You have to send it to the address on the I-90 instructions.
Oh, I think I err in that because I sent it to the Albany because I sent it there because after I was there to do the second fingerprint, because when I came in the country, they did not do the fingerprint for me. So they sent me a letter stating that I need to visit the Albany center to do back this fingerprint.
Yeah, but
So
they
that
don't-
is
they
where I
don't
sent
know-
it. I did not look on the.
Yeah, that's just a service center. They don't know what to do with what you sent them. They don't know how to process an I-90, even though you sent it to them, even though that's where you got fingerprinted. You have to send it to the address on. You didn't get a receipt notice, did you? Did you get a receipt notice for what you sent to Albany?
So the question is no. If I get all back the documents and send it to the center that has the I-90 address, would it still be okay or
Oh yeah, you can and you should. I think that the thing you sent to Albany is probably in the trash somewhere, or it's in some stack where it's in the stack of we don't know what to do with this mail. That's where it is. It's not caught up to your file.
Right, I got you.
Now, Roy, listen. If you don't get your 10-year green card fixed, you still need to file an I-751 on time, right? So if the at the 2-year mark in that 1 year 9, you have to treat it as if it's a 2-year green card. So it's going to be a headache for you for a while, but hopefully you can get the new green card before the 751 is due.
Jim, I got you. I listened to all your videos and I have that. I'm, prepared to file my I-751 as of January of next year, not next year, the other year, sorry. Yep. So I have that, but it's just I wanted to correct the conditional green card against the 10-year green card because I don't want it to be a problem in the long run to come. But now that you mentioned that I should send it to the address on the I-90 form, I'm going to do back everything and send it. I want to say thank you very much for your advice, and I'm a very quiet listener to your program. And rest assured, I heed all your advice, and it's advice to work with, I could say. Yeah.
Thanks, Roy. Good man.
Thank you very much.
All right.
Enjoy the guy take care.
What are you going to say? You enjoyed the guy that what?
I enjoyed the guy that you asked if he was a lawyer that do all the kinks and so on, that was in prison, and he did he got 100 people to sign a
Great.
petition for him. I salute that guy, man. I forgot his name,
Benson.
but I salute him.
Benson.
I salute
Yeah, he was the best.
Benson. That's the guy.
Yep.
I salute
Bye,
that
Roy.
guy, man. He's a fighter. He's a fighter. Thank you, Jim. Thanks for all your
See,
help.
buddy, come back anytime.
Welcome. Yes, sure, Jim. Thank you.
All right. So, yeah. So Roy's a smart guy. He's listening to me. He's doing everything right. He just sent it to the wrong address, which isn't a big deal. But listen, I've seen many people get that 10-year green card by mistake, and then they go ahead and apply for citizenship without ever getting the conditions removed. And what happens is USCIS really punishes them and says, no, we have to deny your citizenship case because you never got the conditions removed, and you have to file a new 751, even though it was their mistake from sending the wrong green card in the first place. You can't rely on that green card that you got. I think Mr. K is trying to come back. Mr. K, are you back? I have two of you in here. I don't know what's going on. Mr. K is checked out. All right. Hey, Paul, I see you there. Are you driving or are you parked? I think he's parked. Paul, are you?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, are you parked?
Yeah, I'm actually at a stoplight. I'm just a block from my house, so I'll be parked in about 30 seconds.
Oh, I'll come back to you.
Okay.
All right. Shaday's here. Hello, Shaday.
Hi, Jim. Good morning here in the UAE.
Good morning.
It's actually 2:47 in the morning, and I really am happy to get into your show. I'm very new to your show, and I'm actually looking forward to ask you some questions, if you don't mind.
Awesome.
I mean,
Go for it.
All right. So I'm actually currently in an EB3 visa, and I am waiting for my interview. I'm in the UAE. I'm a nurse by profession. And it has been a while that we have a retrogression, and there's no update yet for the NVC or the USCIS to have this interview soon. But my fiance is actually an American citizen. He's here with me. He's sleeping, so I'm very loud tonight. I mean, this morning. But I just need to ask, like, if we're going to get married in the US, because I have a current B2 visa. I have a tourist visa, and I'm going back and forth to the US. So we're looking forward for another option to go faster to the US. So we don't know when the retrogression will become current. So is it going to be okay to use, to get married there in the US and just do the adjustment of status, file for I-130, file for I-485, and also file for the EAD to work there temporarily while there's a filing going on? I just need to know which way to go to be, to get there faster and to be with him, because we've been in long distance relationship for the past 2 years, and it's really hard to be away again. But I'm willing to wait, but it's just we don't know what is the best option for us, basically.
How many times have you entered the United States before?
I think 4 times, 4 to 5 times.
And were any of those while you were married?
No, we are not married yet. We're just
Okay.
in the field.
Oh, not married yet. Okay.
Not married yet.
Oh, got it. Okay, that makes it a little easier. Okay. And so right now you have a current B1, B2 visit visa.
Yes.
Okay. So there's a couple of concepts we need to talk about. The first big concept we need to talk about is immigrant intent. Immigrant intent. So if somebody comes to the United States on a non-immigrant visa, like a B1, B2, and intends to jump the line and get married and apply for a marriage-based green card, if that's their 100% plan, when they enter the United States, they can get in trouble because the government can say that was a misrepresentation when you got the visa or when you talked to customs, okay? But
Right.
if someone were to come to the United States and hang out for, say, 60 days, and then they're like, boy, I really like it here. We've been having this long distance relationship for a really long time, and I know I have that employment-based case, but it's sort of going nowhere. I really don't want to go back to UAE at the end of this entry that I have for 6 months, and I decide to get married. If they make the decision in the United States as opposed to drag their wedding dress and all the earthly possessions from UAE to the United States, then that will be okay if they get married after the 60 days and apply.
Right.
So it really does all go down to your intent. So if in your mind you say to yourself, I'm going to go to America and see how it goes, and maybe I'll come back and just consular process. Maybe I'll get my interview notice while I'm visiting people in America. So that's one thing, right? So that's
Right.
the big distinction. That's the distinction. Because a B1, B2 is a non-immigrant visa. If I want a green card, that's inconsistent. So you don't want to get hit with a misrepresentation. So I think you have to be honest when you talk to CBP. So if they ask you, why are you coming? And you say, I'm going to go to Disney World, Niagara Falls, and California,
Yeah.
and I'm going to see my boyfriend. I think you have to be honest, because if you lie, that can get you in trouble. Now, it might mean they don't let you in, but I think most likely that they will, because you've always come, you've always come and gone.
Yeah.
You've always followed the rules.
True.
I might not travel with my boyfriend on the same flight. I might take a different flight. But either way, once you're in the United States, if you wait 3 or 4 months or more than 60 days is what you have to wait, and you decide to get married and you get married, then you can apply for the green card, the work card, the travel document, all that stuff. Timeline, you're probably talking, depending on where you apply, anywhere from 7 to 8 months. I mean, that lady that was just on the call a minute ago, she got married in September, filed in October, and she already has her work card. So I don't know. Sometimes things go faster.
Right. Well, okay, well, we'll talk about it and check with the best options that we have, and we will follow the 60-day, or I even read that it's 90-day kind of 90-day period
safer.
before, to be safe. To be safe. All right, thank you so much, Jim. That's it.
Bye, Shade. See ya.
Bye.
Okay.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
All right. Robert's bringing up the 500th show. I've been thinking about it. We're going to have some kind of party. I want to line up guests the whole day. Caller guests. We got to get Fatuma on the line. We got to get all of our favorites, Rocio, everybody, Robert, and we got to get people from the firm. I think we're just going to make it. I'm gonna sit down probably over the weekend and figure out. I'm going to do a 5-hour show that day. I'll just start at noon and go till 5, or start at 1 and go till 6, and we'll just knock it out. We'll get Daniel on. We'll get all the OGs on. That'll be fun, including you, Robert. All right, Paul is home, so let's talk to Paul. What's up, buddy? How you doing?
Great. Hey, good. Thank you. Hey, it's my first time. Just discovered you today, so thank you. It's
Awesome.
great.
Sure.
Great call. I've been in the U.S. for 16 years, about 9 years on TN, and the last 7 with a green card. I'm in Connecticut, so I was in Hartford yesterday just for the citizenship process, and
Nice.
And that all went fine. The USCIS person was very professional and helpful and great conversation. But the main issue was, he said from his perspective, if I would have completed the whole process yesterday, he would have taken my passport, my Canadian passport. And I know I saw what you posted about that question more generically online, but I was curious in my specific situation if you have any advice. Basically, I need to travel back to Canada at Christmas, so we decided not to complete I did the oral exam and passed all of that yesterday, and then we decided to schedule the ceremony for January after I come back from Canada. But
you mean they have a same-day ceremony option?
Yes.
So I think he probably said that he would take your green card, not your passport. He can't take your Canadian passport.
Okay. No, he was explicit that it was my passport that is what he would take, and he made the point to say, like, you probably don't want me to take it, so you can still travel home at Christmas, which is then why he recommended we didn't do it yesterday.
I'm glad you did what you did, but you're not going to give them your Canadian passport. I've never heard of that ever. So I think he was either confused, or they certainly take your green card at the ceremony, but they don't take your passport.
Yeah. Okay. Do you even know? Do I need to even do I even need to bring the passport to the ceremony?
I wouldn't.
Yeah.
Especially if that guy's around.
Right. Yeah. Okay. So as far as you know, like it's all in terms of requirements, I just obviously need to have photo ID. I need to bring my green card to the ceremony, but
once you get they'll give you a form to fill out, like, have you been arrested, or they'll ask, have you left the United States, and you'll have to give them the dates of travel back to Canada. But other than that, it's all good.
Yeah. Okay. So essentially, do you think he was just misinformed? And
I think so.
Yeah. Okay.
Thanks, Paul.
Yeah. Thank you. I appreciate the help.
Congratulations. See you, buddy. All right. Hey, listen, I forgot. I promised somebody in the comments today in Immigrant Home that I'm glad Paul called because that reminded me. Let me pull up this discussion that we had in Immigrant Home. And I'm actually going to make a little bit of a video about this because here it is. All right. This is from Matthew. My wife and stepdaughter's I-45 were denied last week on a technicality. Now she's thinking about returning home and switching to consular processing, but we have a couple questions. Does anyone know how long the I-824 might take to process to get the approved I-130s to NVC? Her tourist visa expired last year. Is she risking being barred from reentry when she leaves? There were lots of different back and forth. I said, what was the reason for the denial? And Matt said, they sent an RFE last December and asked for a lot of financial stuff as well as a new 45. It looks like I messed up and didn't return the new I-45 to them. So I said that wouldn't exactly constitute a technicality. So that's what I wanted to do a video on, is sort of what is a technicality? A technicality is when they sort of find some little nitpicky thing to screw you over, or some little mistake just sends it off. I would say not sending in a 45 is sort of a lot bigger than technicality. So sometimes I think people make themselves feel better by saying that was a technicality. Now, USCIS is a terrible agency and they definitely do things on technicalities, but I think that isn't what Matthew cared about. Matthew didn't want me talking about that. He said, you're right, I should have said a mistake on my part. Then there was some back and forth from some of the commenters. All right, so here's Matt said, we spoke to a lawyer today, and according to the lawyer, since the I-45 was applied for before her B2 visa expired, and she only just received the denial dated November 23rd, by physical copy hasn't even come in the mail yet, she's only started accruing unlawful presence. According to the lawyer, she's not at risk of being banned because she's not gotten anywhere near 180 days of unlawful presence. She also told us that despite the letter saying she needs to leave within 33 days, she could stay up to 180 days past the date the denial was issued and not be banned, but any time will need to be explained later. About the I-24, the lawyer also told us that, like everything with immigration, no one can tell you how long something can take, but that 6 to 9 months is what she's recently seen. I think that's right. I would say 9 to 12 months on an I-24. People call this show all the time bitching about that, Matt. So here's the part that I wanted to emphasize for everybody. The lawyer also strongly recommended that we resubmit the packet and not leaving and moving it back to consular processing. I'm totally with the lawyer on that. I think that's a bad call. I would just start over, say to myself, damn it to hell, I messed up the first time. I didn't use a lawyer. I should use a lawyer. I should file a strong case. I mean, this is all, if they're asking you for financial stuff, that's something that never should have been in an RFE. And the only time I've ever heard of them asking for another 45, I've only heard that maybe 2 or 3 times. I think we took over a case, and I've heard about it twice on this show. It's literally when the person sent in a 45 with so many mistakes that USCIS basically said, we're not going to waste our time trying to make sense of what's accurate in the 45 and what's not. So it seems to me, with all due respect, that the case that was filed was sort of messy and not the way that USCIS is doing it. So I would strongly encourage you, for everybody's peace of mind and for the opportunity to be together for longer, especially if the I-130 has been approved, I would just go ahead and file new 45s for everybody. Might cost a little bit more money, but that I-24 for the I-24 is for the birds. You have no control over that. You have no time frame for when they're going to adjudicate that. I would definitely encourage you, Matt, to go ahead and just start over with the 45, use the I-130, and knock it out that way. That's how I would do it. So I hope you found that helpful, and I'll leave a comment after the show, making sure that you know that I talked about it at about the 45-minute mark. All right, speaking of old favorites, one of our new favorites, Aqueous Spaces, is here. What's up, buddy?
What's good? What's good? Okay.
Nothing. Did you see that we just had a lady on from Ecuador? She's been on a couple times.
No, I haven't seen it. I literally just got home. I saw the text message, saw that you were live right now, and I just jumped in.
Oh, what's up?
All right. So, if I understand correctly, in one of the recent emails that was sent out, there was a mention about the I-864 form, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
There was a form calculating the annual income that the person coming
petitioner
in
has to make.
Yeah.
No, not the person coming in, the person sponsoring.
Me. Oh, that's it?
Just you, bro. Nobody cares how much she makes. It's all about you.
Okay. All right. I was a little worried right there. Okay, I had a different concept
Yeah.
of what was going on. That was my
You're the
only question.
petitioner. You're the petitioner. She's the beneficiary. So she could be a millionaire or she could be a street sweeper. Nobody cares. It's all about you.
Okay. All right. That takes a load off. All right, that's my only
Thanks,
question.
bro.
Have a
See you,
good day.
man. Yep. Tony's got a good eye. He says, "Where's the Diet Pepsi?" I'm at the gym. I got to drink water. I can't be drinking diet soda, Tony. But listen, funny story about that. I did that talk at Northwestern the other day, and I put out a picture on LinkedIn about it. And my therapist, who's always trying to get me to give up diet soda, let me see if I can find it. She found the picture, or she saw the picture, and she sent it back to me. Look at this. There's me, and she circled my Diet Dr. Pepper can. Isn't that funny? I got busted by my therapist on social media. Doesn't that suck? She's a real stickler about that. So I don't know. I like that Diet Dr. Pepper, and I probably drink too much of it, but I do like it. All right, Ahmed is here. Hello, Ahmed.
Hello.
Hi, buddy.
How are you doing, Jim?
I'm great, buddy. How you doing?
Doing well. If I scheduled my appointment for consular processing for H-1B, knowing that I-140 is approved, can I still apply for adjustment of status when I-485 becomes current?
Wait, you threw too much at me. So you scheduled an appointment. Walk me through. Okay, so first of all, are you in the United States or are you outside the United States?
In the United States.
Okay, and you're on an H-1B?
Yes, but it's not
And-
stamped yet. And
I don't care if it's so what do you mean it's not stamped yet? Did you go from OPT to H-1B?
correct.
Okay. So you went from OPT, you're invalid H-1B status. Your employer filed an I-140 for you, is that right?
No, it's just I-140 approved on my own.
You filed an NIW or something?
Correct. Can I still apply for adjustment of status if I scheduled for appointment for H-1B?
See, that's the part that's screwing me up. What do you mean? You have an appointment overseas
Yes.
for the
For
stamp?
for the
But
stamp.
why? What embassy are you going to go stamp at?
Egypt.
Okay. Do you know? Do you know about the devils at the Cairo embassy? What happens? What happens if you go over there to get your stamp and they put you in administrative processing? What are you going to do?
It's just 2 or 3 months, right? If it's administrative processing.
It could be 6 months. It could be 9 months. Why are you going to risk it when you have an approved I-140? Your I-140 has been approved.
Correct.
How long your priority date becomes current?
It's July 2023.
So you got a couple years. So you need the stamp. You want to go back home and visit.
Yes. So my question here:
So
if I schedule
in answer to your question, it's okay because an H-1B is a dual intent visa. It's okay to be on an H-1B and to have the intent of getting a green card, of the intent of getting an I-140 approved. So that's okay. But I just want you to think long and hard about what your life is like if you're stuck outside the United States for 6 months. That's all I'm saying.
But if there is a consular processing appointment, I still can apply for adjustment of status. Correct?
Well, okay, so let's think about timing. So you're saying you want to file for adjustment before you leave or after you come back?
Probably depends if the adjustment of status becomes current.
Oh, right. So you're years away from that anyway. So your question is, will you get in trouble, or what are you worried about? I don't understand what you're worried about.
My eligibility to apply for adjustment of status, knowing that I have already appointment in the embassy there.
But aren't you going to go do the embassy in the next couple months or so?
Yeah, correct.
So you're going to be back long before your I-140 priority date is current on your NIW, right?
Right.
So why are we talking about this? I don't understand what you're worried about.
I know. I'm asking if it becomes current and they didn't go to Egypt, can I still adjust status.
So you're saying if you never get the stamp, can you adjust status? Is that what you mean?
Correct.
If you never get your stamp, but you're invalid H-1B status, you can adjust your status. You do not have to have a stamp in your passport in other words, you could stay here, Ahmed, all the way until you become a U.S. citizen if you want it, without ever getting that stamp in your passport. Does that
But
make
it's
sense?
not going to hurt that having appointment there.
You mean like an appointment that you never go to? Is that what you mean?
Yes, but there is already paid DS 160, and there is already appointment there.
Okay. So you've already filed for the DS 160. You already have an appointment, and you're probably not going to go. Is that what you mean?
Yes.
Oh, good, Habibi. Yeah. That's fine. Nobody cares about that. They'll never even know that.
Okay. Appreciate that.
I got it.
That's my
Sorry it
question.
took so long for me to figure out what you were asking.
No, Rob. Thank you.
See you, buddy.
Bye.
All right, Jay's been waiting a while. Let's see. Jay, are you there?
Hi, Jim. Yeah, I am. How are you
Awesome.
doing?
How you doing? I'm well, thank you.
I'm doing pretty good. So I'm going to talk about my story, like short. So I've been in the US since 2015, got married in 2021, and got my temporary green card in 2023. I'm sorry. No, I got the green card in 2021, sorry. And I applied this year in June.
For the 751.
Correct. And things went a little bit south with my wife.
Yep.
And it's been about 5 months now that the application is actually at the USCIS office. I wanted to know what would be my options. Because, I mean, if we go down the path of a divorce, I'm assuming the address change will trigger USCIS and they would start wondering what's going on. So I would like to know what the options are here, if I should go through the divorce or just wait and see what happens if I get the 10-year green card before anything happens for me.
So my big question is, do you eventually want to become a U.S. citizen?
Yes, that's the ultimate goal. Yeah.
That's a perfect way to phrase it. That's the ultimate goal. Okay. So if we accept the fact that you want to become a U.S. citizen, then we know that at some date in the future, you will be sitting across from an immigration officer and you will have to explain your immigration history from when you arrived in the United States until you are there that day applying for citizenship, right?
Okay.
So most important, you're going to have to explain the ins and outs of your 751, right? So you have to think of the future. You don't get to not update your address just because you're worried that's going to affect your 751. We want, as you said, the ultimate goal is to get your citizenship. So we want you to keep a clean record all the way through, right? So when did you file the 751?
June 2023.
And you and your spouse filed it together, and you both signed it.
Correct.
Are you living together right now?
Yeah, we're still at the same house, but it goes back and forth about willing to divorce, and then things go well for a few weeks, a month or so.
Yeah.
And then
so
go back.
This is where I mean, first of all, Jay, the number one thing I want to say is you can get your conditions removed without your spouse. So don't feel from an immigration standpoint that they have power over you or they have some ability to mess with your immigration status. You have agency here. You don't have to do what they say just because they're the U.S. citizen. Okay, that's the number one thing I want you to understand. So if tomorrow you filed for divorce and you moved out, what we would do is we would file a new 751 by yourself, and we would say, this was a good faith marriage. This was real. This was for love. It just didn't work out, and here's why it didn't work out. So what we do is we would prepare a long statement from Jay.
Okay.
And then once you're divorced, we would file for a new 751. We call it a 751 solo. It's just Jay. Now, we would try to get some kind of a statement from your soon-to-be ex-spouse. That, you know, like I would find out your whole history of immigration, your whole history of love with this person, why it was great at the beginning, why it was sort of crummy in the middle, and why it ended. And then I would go to your spouse and say, hey, would you be willing to try to help us keep Jay in the United States?
That's
Right?
one of my concerns as well. I'm not fully sure she would be willing to help
It's okay.
out. Yeah,
it's okay. We can do it without her. We don't have to have her, right?
okay.
So
And to give
if we can,
you also a better picture, we've been together 6 years. We were together 4 years before getting married. So, you know, it's not like I came here and then got married right away. We don't have a long history together. We decided to take our time.
That's great. So that's helpful. My big question always on these, other than will the wife or the husband help or hurt, my other big question is always, what was your immigration status before you got married?
Okay. Yeah, I came here on a TN visa.
Yeah, so you had valid ways to stay valid. You didn't have to get married just to get a green card, right?
No,
So,
no. Actually, I was here like 6 years before we got married.
Okay, so so I think that you should feel, you know, in control. If you want to get divorced, get divorced. If you want to stay married, stay married. But the thing is, you have to assume, and you have to ask yourself, do I want to go to bat with this person? What if we get called in for an interview? Because even now, even though they're doing a lot less interviews, 10 or 20% of the cases do have interviews. So you got to say to yourself, am I better off doing this by myself? Or do I think this marriage, I mean, because the 751 is going to take 2 years. So are you going to sit through this marriage for 2 full years just to see what happens, right? And I just think you get a lot more control when you do it on your own.
Yeah, that's the stressful part. And also, I was also thinking if things get better, but that's just conditional. After 5 years, when I get to that 5-year point, does it change? Since, you know, I can actually ask for the citizenship by myself after 5 years, correct?
You'll have to, if you're not married all the way up until the 3 years and getting the citizenship, then you have to do the 5 years. So I would just start planning on that. Yeah, and you're close enough anyway. So I would just say, I would play it straight. If I want to stay married, stay married. If I don't want to stay married, don't stay married, and everything else we can fix.
Yeah, it's just I don't know if it can be fixable, but if things get better, I just wanted to not start from scratch again. That's the different, you know, concerns that I have, and also the fact that, you know, I was saying that if I move out, then the address change. They might ask for an RFE to maybe get like a divorce decree or something like that.
Or they might come knock on the doors.
Yeah, that too.
And then that's bad because then she's shitting all over you.
Yeah, that I know she can be bitter sometimes, so that's one of my concerns.
Okay, thanks, Jay.
Yeah, thank you for your time.
Good luck, buddy. Yep, let me know if you need anything. See you, bud. All right, I'm making the call right now. So this is episode 486. Tomorrow will be 487, which means 12 more episodes before the 500th episode. So I'm making the call right now that the 500th episode, we're going to have a party on December 15th, Friday the 15th. We're going to do a 5-hour show. I'll probably break it up. I might do like 3 hours in the morning and 2 in the afternoon if I want to go to Friday prayer. So I'm probably going to do a 5-hour, but maybe I'll do 2.5 hours, 2.5 hours, or maybe I'll probably do 3 and then 2. We'll figure it out. But the party, I'm calling it now, December 15th, the 500th show. We're going to make it as big as we can. I might just go 5 hours straight to see how many people we get watching. We're up to 235 today, so that's pretty good. We'll be back tomorrow for the last show of the week. I will not be doing a show on Saturday. That's the 2-year anniversary of my dad passing away. So I'm going to spend the day with my mom and my sisters. And then Sunday, I'll do a show before football. So no show. We'll do a show tomorrow. No show on Saturday. Oh, yeah, and Glenn wants those belly dancers. I don't know. I'll talk to him. That would be funny. We got to get Shabazz on here, too. So I don't know. Do we have Shabaz's contact info? I think we do. We'll get Fatum on. Yeah, I can find Shabazz. I can find him. Devendra is going to come. He's going to bring some food. Yeah, we'll get Amani on. Amani will come on for sure. We'll schedule it out like a telethon. When I was a kid, they used to, on Labor Day weekend, they would make money. Maybe we'll do a fundraiser for a charity. Oh, that's a great idea. Maybe we'll do a charity for the Micah Project, and we can just try to raise money for the Micah Project. That's an organization here in St. Louis that does deportation defense for people that don't have any money. That would be great. That's what we'll do. Oh, we're going to have all right, 500th episode party/telethon. And then maybe what we'll say is if we hit our goal of fundraising, then we'll get the belly dancers. I don't know. We'll see. Money's probably not going to like the belly dancers. But we'll make it fun. We'll have fun. We'll have guests. And if you guys want to come on the show to either thank me or to tell a story or whatever, start emailing us now, info@hackingimmigrationlaw.com, and just put in the memo line party. And then any ideas you have, all that stuff, we're going to make it. This will be fun. So that's 2 weeks from tomorrow, because tomorrow, believe it or not, is December 1st. Thank you, everybody. Have a great night. I'm looking forward to that. That's going to be great. And we'll see you tomorrow. Bye, guys. Oh, that's